Welcome to the Relax into Love podcast, the place for spiritual, ambitious women to awaken to divine connection within themselves and their partner and manifest their most desired relationship with joy and ease. I'm Teal Elizabeth, your host, a spiritual love and relationship coach trained in the principles of feminine energy, NLP, and deep subconscious reprogramming. And through this podcast, it is my desire to inspire you on all things dating, relationships, and self-love. Now, on to the show. Welcome back. You are catching me live here at my fiance's mother's house. Doing a little bit different today, but I have a very, very fun topic that I want to talk about. I love talking about fear. We're going to talk about fear today and slaying through fear and getting back to that place of empowerment. I wanted to really tap into this because I have been working with a beautiful one-on-one client named Crystal. I'm not going to go into the details of what she's going through, but I just want to shout her out for so much power, so much strength that is coming through right now for her. And we were having a conversation this morning and I was just literally crying, listening to her voice note, her sharing with me all of the empowered steps that she's taking in her life right now to really, really own her power and just slay through fears. And the fears that she's been going through are truly, truly extreme fears, things that have been very, very life-threatening, and she is not letting it back her down. She is not letting herself fall victim to these situations. She is helping, through my help and through our work together, she has been completely just facing every single one of them head on, slaying through them and taking her power back. And this has now been probably 2 or 3 months now of slaying through some really, really big, deep fears, some really, really hard conversations, some really tough relationships, and she's doing it like a champ. And so I want to shout her out. Crystal, you are so fantastic. You are just absolutely blowing my mind in seeing what's possible and really inspiring me to again talk about the power of slaying our fears and really just taking that power back. And I think that this is such a beautiful conversation to have because fear is so elusive. And so, we can talk about fear all day long and be like, don't let fear take you down, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to even know if you actually are feeling fear or if fear is even there because it hides. It hides in really, really convoluted ways. And it usually hides within the subconscious and within the psyche. And so you may be operating doing your daily life. And then all of a sudden you have this massive trigger come up. And sometimes we don't even realize the fears that are deeper underneath all of this. I was having another conversation this morning with a woman and really just working through, I could see it, she was coming to me for one issue, but then realizing that as we were massaging through and talking through everything that she's experiencing, deep below, there were so many layers. And as we were really talking through it, we got down to the bottom of it, which was fear. And fear is such a powerful, little monster. It's a little monster. And yet at the same time, if we don't address it and we don't take the time to actually clear through and get down to those deeper layers to even identify that fear is there, we end up letting it control our lives without us even realizing it. And when we allow fear to control our lives from a subconscious place, right, from a place of complete unawareness, we are allowing fear to completely dictate how the course of our life unfolds. And this is what's really tricky. And this is what can be really dangerous, is that we will not even know that fear is existing in our subconscious. We're not even mentally aware of it. Our mind is thinking that we're doing work on ourselves. We're, continuing to grow. We're continuing to get better. We think we're doing fine, but yet things aren't working out and they're still not getting where we want to be. And 9 times out of 10, it's because there is still a subconscious layer of fear underneath all the other things, underneath all the facades and all the identities and all of the beliefs, there's a fear. And I've talked about this before, and I really think about fear as being almost like a little dragon, right? It's like you get to be this little, excuse me, I don't know if any of you have ever played Zelda. It's like a super old video game. And I think it's a little boy, or I don't know, he's kind of androgynous, but like the little Zelda character. And I imagine each of us as being our own little Zeldas, right? We've got our shield and our sword, and we're these little warrior priestesses. And we get to go out there and go find these dragons of fear. And life is this opportunity. It's this beautiful, just like little video game setup, right? Of mountains and waterfalls and rivers and beaches and caves and all of these mystical areas that we get to go really explore and find these dragons of fear. But this is also a really scary thing because not everybody wants to go seeking out fear, right? Not everyone wants to go and slay dragons because that's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. And oh my gosh, it also reminds me of, like, for any of you who watched the Harry Potter movies, you know, they had that cabinet where as you walk up to the cabinet, you open the cabinet and the Bogart, like I think it's a Bogart, comes out and it like transforms itself into your worst fear. So imagine that Bogart character being this dragon, just no matter who you are, this character is turning into your worst fear and standing there before you. And this is your opportunity to either run away or face it and fight it. And this is where the real determining factor comes in. And this is why I love being a coach. This is why I just feel so connected to the work that I do, because for the women who are ready to fight their dragons and really slay their dragons, I'm here to give them the tools to do it. And the craziest part is it goes a lot quicker than you think it does, right? We will build up in our head that we need to face our fears, that we need to slay our dragons, but the actual idea of doing it is more terrifying than the actual doing it, right? The actual facing it. And so what ends up happening is we end up just saying, I'll do it later. It's really not as bad. Everything's fine. I'm good. I'm just going to kind of sit here and keep life the way I need it to be, because at least I don't have to deal with that really, really terrifying thing over there in the corner. And I don't know what it's going to transform into. I don't know how deep that rabbit hole goes. I don't want to get into that, right? This is what happens. But I want you to know that I've got you. And that when you have the right tools and the right support, slaying those dragons of fear does not have to be a terrifying thing. It gets to be an empowering thing. It gets to be the most empowered action that you could ever take in your life. And literally, Crystal was just saying to me this morning, I feel more empowered than I've ever felt in my entire life. This has been the biggest thing that I've ever had to deal with. And now that I'm doing it, it just feels like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, this is so liberating. This is so exciting, right? I don't have to have this thing looming over my shoulder anymore. I don't have to be constantly checking my back. I get to really step into my priestess. I get to step into the place of truly owning who I am, owning that power inside of me. And this is, I know, it's a total little pep talk today, but it's because I really want you to know that these fears are not here to run your life. They are not here to run your life. No matter what the fear is, no matter how scary or weird or crazy it is, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I'm not afraid of your fears. I'm not afraid of your fears, and more so, I have the tools to help you move through those fears. And that's what I'm here to do for each of you. And now the question is, are you ready to take that journey? That's really the question, because the dragons are going to be there until you're ready to take that journey, to say yes, to grab your little shield and grab your sword, and to actually go on that journey to slay these dragons. But once you do, the dragons are gone. The dragons are gone. And I think a few weeks ago, I did a shout out for my girl Naomi. And she said, Teal, when she first came to me, she's like, you kept saying like, I can just, all these crazy fears that I've had for my whole life, that once I work with you, they'll all just be gone. Poof, they'll all just be gone. And she's like, that can't be right. I remember her saying this, and she put it on her video. She's like, but then it happened. It happened and they were gone just like that. And it really was that easy. And it made me think, why have I been waiting so long to clear through all of these fears, right? Why have I been like keeping myself in this shell of who I was, in this cage of who I was for so long, when I could just when I had the right tools and I had the right support and I had the right cheerleader, woman, coach, shaman, angel guidance beside me, I could make it happen that easy. And that's what I'm here to reflect back to each of you. This is what I'm hearing in my world all the time from the women that come to me and that work with me. And when you are ready to truly embrace those fears, not take them on in terms of like letting them be you or consume you, but really actually decide, I am ready to step into my power. I'm ready to stop being a victim to fear. It really can be that easy. It really can. And I am an experienced veteran in slaying dragons. And I think the most beautiful part about this is I'm just glowing right now because I just am so freaking proud of my ladies who are doing this and are choosing to say, yes, I don't want to live my life in fear anymore. I'm ready to live my best life ever. And when that happens, when you choose to start doing that, you really do start to shift the way your life unfolds. People start seeing you different. Your energy shifts in a different way. Opportunities start coming into place. Support starts grounding, right? People start being able to give you what you need so that you can keep uplifting yourself higher and higher and higher. I imagine it as like a bird, right? Where if you finally stop keeping yourself caged and stop keeping yourself with clipped wings and you say, I'm ready to freaking fly. I want to fly. God damn it, I want to fly. And you start to take the steps to actually learn how to open your wings. And this is what I do with my one-on-one coaching clients. Learning the steps to open your wings and really expand, right? You can't see me, but I'm like, got my arms out. I'm like fully expanding. And we start to lift our wings and we realize how much support and air uplifts us with our wings. We start to realize how many people are really there to support us and give us that lift that we need to pull ourselves out of those dark situations and really pull ourselves into that light and into that flight. And then you start flying and you start realizing, wow, how was I stuck down there in the mud for so long when all I needed was the right tools and the right guidance and the right support to help lift me up and fly. And that's the beauty of coaching. That's the beauty of this work. That's the beauty of asking and receiving support, is that you don't have to stay stuck anymore. And even if you don't feel stuck, you don't have to continue living the life of mediocrity and just okayness anymore. You get to live a life that is extraordinary, that a life that is just your wildest dreams, a life that is just like, I can't even believe that I'm alive right now. And I've had women even say, like, I know this year is crazy. I know this year is tough, but like, I'm living my best life than I've ever lived. And I kind of feel bad to even say that, right? You don't have to feel bad to say that. This gets to be your life. You get to enjoy it. You get to have that joy again. You get to have that passion and that expressiveness and that just radiance just coming through out of your heart, out of your soul. This is the beauty of when you start to really make that decision, that empowered decision to release the fears, to slay the dragons, to learn how to receive support and how to really connect into your highest essence. And if that's something that you need support with, that's where I really come in. And I do this through my deep one-on-one coaching, transformational work. If that's something you're looking for, DM me. We can get on a free breakthrough call and we can really talk about what it is that you're finding struggles with and how I can support you in getting into that higher essence place. Or if you're feeling like you just want to learn a little bit more and you just want a place for more community and be able to ask me questions without jumping into a formal program. Like I said, as you know, my Ladies Love Lounge is open for this week only. This week only, and I'm getting flooded with requests. So the first 100 women that join into this will be getting in at the founding member rate of $37 a month. $37 a month. I know. It's insane. It's insanely cheap, but I wanted to make this accessible for every woman that really wants support from me, regardless of where they're at, regardless of what their situation is. So I just want to be here today to tell you and remind you, you are not alone. You are not crazy. You are not needing to stay stuck, and you get to live your best life. You really, really do. And sometimes it just takes realizing that maybe you need a little bit of support, and maybe it's time to practice the receiving. And whether that's the self-love work, maybe that's the self-confidence work, maybe that's the self-work, the self-worth work, maybe that's the relationship work, whatever it is, I got you. I got you, I got you, I got you, babe, okay? So, like I said, I'm going to leave my link for the Ladies Love Lounge. If you have not signed up yet, please do so, and reach out, babe, because I am here for you. And this is going to be a new year. This is going to be a new opportunity to just take a reset, a full body, soul reset, and really start to come back into that place of empowerment, that place of I am so ready to stop feeling shitty, right? No matter what the external world's going through, you get to decide how you feel on the internal. And I'll tell you, I definitely have my dips. I definitely have my up and down days. But for the majority of the time, I feel really empowered and I feel really joyful and I feel really excited to be alive, to be doing the work that I do, to have such an amazing relationship and such an amazing family and a now extended family to be a part of. And if that's not where you're at right now, then it's time to really think about that and really reflect on it. What do I need to do to shift this so that I can get to that empowered place, that joyful place, that really inspired place within myself? So that's where I'm here, my love. And hope you guys are getting to do something that really lights you up today. And yeah, sending you so much love as always. Thanks for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Relaxing to Love podcast. If you are loving what you're hearing, please, I would love for you to write me a heartfelt review. It means so much for the success of this podcast. And honestly, I love hearing what really hits home for your soul. And the feedback, really, I read every piece of it. So definitely pop me a love note and share this with a friend. Share this with someone who you know could really use this message today. And let's keep spreading the love. Until next time.